A successful email marketing campaign is sending the right content to the right person at the right time. And yet, email marketing is still seen as a quick and easy blast shoot to your whole list of contacts with no real strategy behind it. Well, that's what we're going to change today. Hi everyone, my name is Manon. I'm a business analyst and part of the marketing expertise team here at Odoo. Here is the QR code to scan to ask your question, and we'll go over them at the end of this presentation. So for this talk, we're going to take a use case. I am a digital marketing agency, CNM, and I have an objective, which is promoting my new event management service. To do that, I'm going to use the email marketing application in Odoo. So whether you are trying to have some tips on how to create a great email marketing or simply discovering what Odoo can do in terms of email marketing, you are at the right place. Okay. When I prepare an email marketing, I always think of strategy. And when I define the strategy, I ask myself different questions. First, why? Why do I want to send that email? What is the goal behind it? What do I want to achieve? Then, who? Who will be the target? Who will be receiving my email? What will I be talking about? So what will be the content of my email? And finally, when will I be sending my email? Because in email marketing, the timing of your campaign can make or break your campaign. Okay, so let's go on those questions each at a time. First, the why. So defining your objective is really important because based on that you will have a different content and you won't address the recipient in the same way. In marketing, we can have different type of objectives that you can see here on the screen. For myself, I'm a marketing agency and I want to promote my new event management service, meaning that I will have two objectives. First, I want to increase brand awareness on that service, and I also want to convert leads into new customers so that they purchase that new service. So this is the first question. Then, who? Who will I be targeting? Here, we're going to work with favorite filters in the Odoo email marketing app that I will show you right away to define who will be the recipient of my email. Okay, let's go into Odoo. So, I'm in my Odoo database, and I will go directly into the email marketing application. In that application, once you enter it, you have obviously all your campaigns that you have already sent. And in the configuration, you have the possibility to define some favorite filter. Why is it interesting? Well, because you see here that the filter that you will be able to create in email marketing, you can target different recipients. So let's take the filter that I have saved here, which is the event service target that I'm going to use to my communication right here. And you see here, I have chosen a recipient model, which are the mailing contacts. So I'm going to send my communication only to those who subscribe to my mailing list. But on top of that, I'm going to add some rules because I do not want all my mailing contacts to receive my email. They might not be interested in my event management service. So I have added some criteria. Here, the domain. In the domains, I have selected the fact that those contacts need to have a specific tags, which are business owner persona, RFM active, or RFM potential, but also that they are not blacklisted, meaning that they can still receive my marketing communication. And finally, because my event management service is only currently done at Odoo, I have added a criteria on the fact that the contacts need to be in Belgium. So here, for the tags, you see that I'm working with the RFM active, RFM potential. The RFM matrix is a key concept in marketing that can help you define your target. RFM means that you are going to target based on the recency, the frequency, and the monetary value of your customer. How to do that? Well, simply, I'm going to show you. Here, I have created the RFM active, and I'm going to work on my contact, so the contact application. And on those contacts, I will add some criteria, and you see here that the criteria are on the sales order. It means that I'm going to look for all the contacts who have done a sales order and order date is in the last 30 days because the active one are those who purchased recently with me. And on top of that, I have also added the fact that they need to have a total which is greater than €1,000. So just like that, I have, based on every information that I have in my Odoo database, so sales order and the contact information, I have created a new filter, the RFM active, that I have now added on my contact, and I will target those contacts. So that I know that those persons have already purchased a service with me, they might be interested in discovering my new other service. So this is the favorite filter that I have created based on this key marketing concept and the information I have in Odoo. Okay. So now that I have defined the who, it's time to define the what. So you need to define the content of your email. When you create an email, it's important to respect some best practices, such as having a strong structure. So obviously you might want to be super creative when creating your email marketing, but you still need to respect some best practices, because email marketing is not a website. There are rules in place for your email to be opened and your email to go through deliverability measures. So you need a strong structure, meaning that you need to have a good balance between images and text in your email. Not too many images, not too much text as well. And the main information, so the key information that you want to communicate, needs to be above the fold, meaning that it needs to be the first element people will see when they will open your email. Then you obviously also need a catchy headline. So the subject will be, once again, one of the first key elements that people will see. So you need to have something catchy that relates to the content of your email and that makes sense regarding what you are talking about. And please also try to avoid any spammy words at the same time. Then you need to have personalized content. So remember the catchphrase I used at the start, you need, for a successful marketing campaign, it's the right content to the right person. So having personalized content allows you to do that. It's always best to choose your target and then communicate the type of content that people are interested in. And you can do that by listening to their preferences, and I will show you how to do that right after in Odoo. Then you also need strong call to action. So the call to action can be buttons, can be links in your campaign, because this is where you're going to ask people to do something. So it needs to be clear, enticing, and easy to click, so that you will be able to track the result as well. Finally, you need to have attractive visuals, because it's important to have great picture and quality picture, but they need to relate to the content of your marketing. So once you have defined all those elements and you know that you respect the best practices, you can go into Odoo and create your email. Okay, so let's create the email together. I have already started. My email is in draft right here. So you see, I'm going to start with a subject that relates to the content of my email. So here I'm asking people, I'm telling them, are you ready to launch your next big event? But on top of that, I'm going to add a personalized element with the dynamic placeholder. So dynamic placeholder means that that information will be replaced by the information that we have on the person. So here we have a little magic wand on the right, which allow you to insert some dynamic fields. And here I'm going to select the first name of the person and insert that field, meaning that every person that will receive my email, so they will have their first name, so Manon, for example, are you ready to launch your next big event? That is how you can already personalize the subject. Then you have to select the recipients, and you see here by default Odoo offers to select the mailing contacts, because those are the ones that have subscribed to your newsletter, for example your mailing list. And here on the side you can choose the favorite filter that we have saved. So let's pick that filter, and you see that automatically Odoo will add the criteria that you have saved before, and you will have the number of records that matches that criteria. So we have 8 records now that will receive my email. Okay, so this is the main configuration. Then let's move into the mail body. So let me put that a bit bigger. So what's new with the email marketing app in the version 19 is mostly that we have worked on the framework of that application, meaning that now you have the blocks here. So if you don't know how to use email marketing, the logic is drag and drop the blocks. And you have the same blocks and the same categories as you have on the website application. So you're going to be able to drop the blocks where you want to in your email. So let's start with a footer, because we want people to be able to unsubscribe. And you see here you have the categories and you have all the blocks that you can use that are already personalized based on your graphical chart. So let's add a footer, and it's already at the bottom. And let's add a header as well, because I want my logo to be displayed. Okay. The header, it's not supposed to be there, so I'm just gonna move it thanks to the little arrow, and I can update everything. So every element that you have in email marketing can be updated to match the visual that you want. So here, let's say that the logo is a bit bigger, so I'm gonna resize it. But then I have my social media bar that is too much on the left, so let's resize this as well. So you see, you will have a list of blocks available, but every block can be updated. Okay, so now I have a header and I have a footer. Let's add other content. So I mentioned some images. We're gonna add one image. You see here you have different types of block. Let's take this one. Once again, I want it to be at the top. And here we're going to put the main information. Main information is right here. So let's take that information and put it as the title of my email, so that this will be the first information people will see when opening my email. And let's do that as well with the subtext. Okay, so we can delete this right here. Now we're going to update the picture as well, because remember what I said, you need to have picture that matches the content of your email. So let's replace the picture right here with the media, and we're going to take something that makes sense. So let's take an event picture. Perfect. So I have my picture right here. I have the text and the content that I want to talk about. So here we have the rest of the text. What's missing? Well, we miss a call to action because we want people to book a meeting with us so that we can demonstrate what our service will be about. Let's add that together. So here in the blocks, we're going to take the marketing category, and here we have the call to action block. Once again, I'm going to move it thanks to the little arrow, and you see that you are really flexible on where you want to put the block. And here, well, I do not want any text, so let's delete that, and I'm simply going to use the call to action and move it in the center. And once again, you can edit everything. So here it's in green. Well, I'm going to change the background color, and let's put it in light blue. And in the contact button, you can also edit it, and you have either some defined configuration that are already present based on what you have set up in the design, or you could say, I want to do something custom, and here change all the colors of your button. So let's do that, and we're gonna have something, and you can also change the size as well as the shape. So let's have something that is a bit more round, and you can apply your changes. So you see that the email marketing app is really flexible. You can basically edit every block that is present right here to build your campaign based on your graphical charts and what you want to achieve. Okay, so now I have the main information, I have the image, and I also have a contact us page as well as the footer with the possibility to unsubscribe. So let's say my email is ready, at least for the body. So we here have the main information. Okay, so what can you do on top of that? Well, let's go into the settings. So in the settings, you will have some more information that you can add, such as the preview text. The preview text will be the pre-header, so will be shown under the subject of your email. And another key information is that in Odoo, this is in email marketing, this is the only place where you can change the send from and the reply to address. So you might know that if you already use Odoo, but in other email that you send in Odoo, let's say an invoice or a quotation, you cannot change the send from. Here you can put anything that you want. And what's even more interesting, and the great strength of the email marketing app, is the fact that it's totally integrated with other applications, such as the CRM. So let's say here we are going to send our email, and people will book a meeting with us to talk about our event management service. But we also want them to have the possibility, if they reply to our communication, I want it to automatically create an opportunity in the CRM application. And I can easily do that using, here you see, the sales team alias. So basically, if you never worked with Odoo, you have here in the CRM application, we can work with what we call sales team. So you can have a B2B, B2C sales teams, for example. And each of those sales teams will have here, you see it, an email alias. So what I did is just take that email alias and use it as the reply to answer. Meaning that in my email marketing, let's take it right here, if someone responds to my email, it will create automatically a new lead in the CRM application, and you will be able to track that lead coming from the email marketing. So it's really great because oftentimes in marketing, it's really hard to demonstrate the efficacy of your marketing campaign, of your marketing action. Right here in Odoo, you are able to say, okay, well, this campaign generated 10, 15, 20 leads in my CRM application. So this is also a great feature that is really helpful. Okay, so now we have created the email, everything is ready. We obviously will test the email to see what it looks like in your mailbox and make sure that every link is working, that every image is working as well. Let's go back to my presentation. So we have defined the content of our email. Now the last question was the when. When will you be sending your email? Well, to do that, basically it's really going to depend on your business and the habits of your customer. To do that, you can do some A/B testing in Odoo to define what is the best day and time for sending for your business. So what is A/B testing? A/B testing usually is used to test two versions of an email to see which one works better. And you do something different in the two versions. Odoo allows you to do that really easily. So here you have the A/B test tab, and you can allow A/B testing. When you click on that checkbox, you will have here a percentage as well as other information. So the percentage means that here, this version of the email will be sent to 10% of the target. And then you're going to create an alternative version where maybe you won't use, for example, the first name in the subject line, and this will be sent to 10% of the target. Then the winning version will be sent to 80%, so the rest of your target, on the send final on dates that you have defined. So, for example, here I can schedule my campaign to be sent today. Let's send it today at, let's say, 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. So we're going to schedule it. And then we're going to create an alternate version, which will be the same. And if in the A/B testing, you see now that we have the two versions, and this one, we're going to schedule it to be sent, I was too quick, to be sent, for example, tomorrow morning at 10 in the morning to see if it works best in the morning. So let's put it at 10. So we have two campaigns that are created, that are scheduled. So let's compare version right here. So you see the two versions of the campaign. They are linked together with A/B testing, and they will be sent at different time. Depending on the winner, you will be able to say, okay, well, the best timing to send my email are either in the afternoon, for example, or in the morning. Depending on your business, it can be during the weekdays or on the weekends. It really depends on what your business is. But how will the winner be selected? Well, I'm going to create a new campaign to show you. The winner will be selected based on some classical KPI in email marketing, which can be the open rate, the click rate, and the reply rate. But once again, what's really interesting with the email marketing app, it's totally integrated with other applications. So I showed you with the CRM, meaning that here you can say that the number of leads will be what will define the winner, but you could also say that it's the number of quotation of revenue that will define the winner. Because whenever you're going to put a new link into your campaign, so here let's say I have a template and you put a link towards your e-commerce in Odoo, so your website, if someone purchases a product from your email marketing, it will generate a revenue, and you will be able to say from the sales order that the revenue was generated by the email marketing app. So it's really interesting because you will have the possibility to say that marketing effort has generated that many leads and that many revenue. But of course, you need your website to be on Odoo and your e-commerce to be on Odoo as well. Okay, so that's for the A/B testing, and as mentioned, for my agency, the best sending will be the Tuesday afternoon, for example. So once you have defined that timing, there are also some key information that you need to take into consideration, which are email data. So if you do email marketing, you know that you have to be GDPR compliant. So the GDPR regulation, they've been applied since May, I think, 2018 in Europe. And it means that you need to respect people's personal information as well as privacy. And they need to give their consent to be contacted by email and by marketing email. So how to do that in Odoo and be GDPR compliant? You have a few options. First, there is the unsubscribe option. So you saw it quickly when I added the footer in my email. You need to offer the possibility to your contacts to unsubscribe from your email if they do not wish to be contacted anymore. But you can also use mailing lists. So the mailing lists are really related to the email marketing application, and you can create different mailing lists to cater to the different preferences or different topics that you want to talk about. So for example, here I have created a mailing list about the newsletter, but also about event, and a mailing list for prospects, meaning that people will be able to unsubscribe from one mailing list, but still receive content from another one. And an extra tip is that you can do the double opt-in process. So the double opt-in is not mandatory in all countries in Europe, just in some of them, such as Germany, but you can do that. And the double opt-in, what it does is just that when people will subscribe to your newsletter, to your mailing list, they will receive an email to confirm the subscription. So why is it helpful? Well, it allows you to bypass any issue with robots and bots that can subscribe on your website. So let me show you how to do that in Odoo. Each time I'm going to have the wrong screen, that's fine. So in Odoo, in the email marketing app, you have the mailing list, so I mentioned right here. So you can create as many mailing lists as you want. So here I have one for newsletter, one for event, and one for the prospect. And people will be able to subscribe to those mailing lists. So how to do that? Well, you can import contacts if you have a bulk import, or you can also, simply by the website application, you can use the contact and form and allow people to subscribe to your newsletter. So here you can change the action to subscribe to newsletter, and you will see the different subscription, the different mailing lists. So that's also one way. And the double opt-in process, everything is set up for you thanks to the marketing automation app, where you can create a new campaign. In the marketing tab, you have the double opt-in, and everything is set up for you so that you can manage that. So that was for email data. Let's say now you have sent your email, you want to see what are the reporting. So the reporting for email marketing, you have it at a lot of places. You can see it right here. So we have the classical KPI of open, clicked, replied. You have it from the campaign in itself with some smart buttons, and if you click on them, you will see who clicked in your campaign. You also have a dedicated tab for reporting and the mass mailing analysis. And since the Odoo 18 version, we also have a dedicated dashboard in the dashboard application with other types of reporting and other types of graph. Let me show you that. With the classical KPI as well as some other KPIs such as the top 10 links. So what was the link that worked best in your campaign, but also the failed reason, so why couldn't an email be delivered? And with those KPI, it's important to know and how to improve them. For example, if the open rate is a bit low, well, you can test the length, the tone, and the content of your subject line. If it's the click rate that is problematic, try to have strong incentive and do some A/B test on the call to action. If it's the bounce rate, meaning that the email couldn't be delivered, you need to have clean and updated mailing list, so really keep clean data. If it's the unsubscribe rate, I would suggest to analyze the opt-out reason. So when people opt out, why do they opt out? And try to have separate lists so that you can target to the different preferences. And finally, if the deliverability rate is an issue, try to have the double opt-in or avoid also no reply addresses. So to conclude, the key to a successful email marketing campaign is really to think ahead. You need to prepare the strategy and know what you're going to do. And then once it's defined, you can simply go into Odoo and use the email marketing app, and you will have all the steps and you can do and send a great email. Thank you. I'm not sure we have a lot of time for the question. So I don't know if there are a lot of questions, but if you do have questions and we do not have the time, we are at the marketing booth right afterwards, so do not hesitate to come see us if you have any questions, but we'll try to cover some of them right now.
Hello everyone. Just waiting for the couple of questions on the pads. Just waiting a bit.
Ooh, by the way, while we wait, if you need any help defining your marketing strategy or using Odoo marketing app, we have launched a dedicated marketing service where we can help you configure a newsletter calendar, use the email marketing app, and define all those elements with you, so strategy-wise. So we have a QR code with our service, and also feel free to come see us at the booth to discuss your needs. We'll be more than happy to discuss them. And I'm back to the question if there are any.
Yes, so there is one question. Can you send email from different email addresses?
So in the email marketing app, no, you have to select only one send from address, but you can have the name of the person. So let's say you could say Manon and then have the email address, but you won't be able to, from the same campaign, put different email addresses. If you want to send message from different addresses, you need to create different email.
I don't have a lot of, I just have one other question. Could you tell some new features in Odoo version 19.1?
So for some new feature for the email marketing app, we are, what can I say? So basically what we did is work on the framework so that we have a stable email marketing app to be able afterwards to create some new snippets. So the snippets are the blocks that you could see on the right that you could put in your campaign. The idea would be to have new snippets such as a product snippet, so linked to your inventory to be able to put the product in your email marketing. That's one of the new features that we are pushing and hoping for the next version, intermediate version of Odoo.
Yes. Is there a way to connect your existing contact with the mailing lists?
The existing contact?
The existing contact with the mailing list.
Okay, so that's something that you probably or maybe don't know, but there is a clear distinction between the contact application and the contact in your mailing list contact, which is a feedback that we have a lot. And that is also the good news. In the version 19.1, we should have a link between the contact application and the mailing contact, meaning that we'll be able to add some contacts to your mailing list from the contact application. So we heard you, we have the feedback, and it's going to be done in 18.1. 19.1 or 19.2.
And maybe the last questions, or the marketing automation template, like double opt-in,
Yeah.
or is new?
No, it's not new. It's been there since I think the version 18, but we try to add some new templates over time. So
That's it.
thank you.
Thank you very much.